For our dance ministry to be dynamic and to glorify God, we have to come prepared. And also, I noticed that not being prepared is a huge time waster in dance ministry. We don't have that much time with each other to prepare. We have, some of us, about 45 minutes to an hour. Some of us are blessed to have 2 hours, but many of us, we meet for at least an hour, and that's not enough time to get a lot of work done. And it's once a week for most of us. So we have to really maximize our time, and we can't waste time by not being prepared, coming to rehearsal and just winging it. If you're a leader and you don't have choreography for a particular song, if you have an event coming up and you're not really prepared for it and you're trying to cram a choreography down someone's throat per se so that they can hurry up and get it and minister for this event, that's wrong, because it's a confidence killer, and we don't want to do that. Influence is something that we do to shape someone else's life, and as leaders we can't plant those type of seeds in those who are following us. We're teaching them not to be responsible, not to be accountable, not to be good stewards. So that falls heavily on us. Preparedness is something that we must do. We must study. If, depending on how your ministry is set up, you have to come to rehearsal with a strong choreography. Come with something. Don't just wing it in your rehearsals. If you're a dance ministry where you do everything together, everyone has input, that's wonderful. But what will help you with your preparedness is if you allow time for all of that to be done, so that when you do finally get the dance movements and the steps together, when you do come again for another rehearsal, everyone is on point, everyone knows what they're doing, and there's not a lot of time wasted. You have your dance recorded, you know what the movements are, and it's not changing every rehearsal. All of that speaks of our studying. So it depends on how your ministry is set up. If you are the sole choreographer, come with something. Don't come to rehearsal with nothing and say, okay, what are we doing? Or, what should we do? That's fine if you're in a group and this is how you compose your dance. And then at the next rehearsal, then you put it all together, and you know how you work it. You work it the way you work it. But when you work it, make sure you have something to work with. That is very important, because you have people, if you're a leader, you have people following you, and they're going to follow you as far as they can go if they see that you have integrity and structure about yourself. If you don't have these things, it's very hard and difficult for someone to follow you. You'll start seeing people falling off of you, and they're not going to want to be a part of what you're a part of, because you don't take it seriously. They're going to see that as a mark if you're not taking it seriously. Because when you study, you have vigilance. Look at what it says. If you look it up in the lexicon, it talks about how that word study is studious. It means to have zeal, to have desire, to be to put forth effort. And we have to demonstrate that we are putting forth effort in what we are doing, because we take the work of the Lord serious. And the work of the Lord, what we are doing, we are engaging in the ministry of the word. And it's a good work, and it requires diligence. So we have to put forth efforts. We have to make haste to do this. We have to start preparing ourselves in our home before we go and we try to prepare other people. Do you know your dance like the back of your hand? Can you be able to teach it effectively without saying, oh, what was that again? Like, we're wasting time if we do that. Come knowing your stuff. The Bible always talks about call for the skillful musicians, call for those who are skillful. People who are skillful know what they're doing because they've been practicing and they have been working at it. We have to be skillful in what we are doing in our preparation process. Come prepared.